Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Well, 922. Now it is time for the elusive Bleach chapter review. Okay, as everybody already knows, and as I said in the other video I did today, there will not be a Bleach chapter until February. For my calculations, it seems like the first week in February. So 3 weeks, no Bleach chapter. So let's get into it. Now that I think about it, I don't even remember what the name of this chapter was. Wow. But anyway, this is Bleach chapter review 479. Okay, basically we start off with Kinjel's dead, and we go where we're at Urahara's shop, and he's calling Ruka for breakfast, and she's missing, obviously. And then what we have is we go from and then he tells Jinta, oh, you get to have 2 pickles, oh boy, whatever. But anyway, moving on. Ichigo is not there. He's in the Soul Society, and we finally get to see the Soul Society. And basically, there's a funny scene in this chapter when Ichigo passes Renji, and he's like, "Oh, hi, Ichigo," and he's like, "What are you doing here?" So there's this big uproar about it, and basically he's going towards where and everybody finds out that he's there, and we get to see. There's a moment where you get to see what Soifang looks like, and her hair's a little longer, nothing really too special, and you got Byakuya is there, we see Hitsugaya, obviously, Zaraki, the same cast of characters. And then when Ichigo gets to the foot of the steps of where the captains have their meetings, guess who we see? We see a Vizard, Kensei, and it seems like he's a captain. From there, and he says, oh, everybody's inside, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, not much happened in this chapter, but basically he goes in there and he's explaining to him. And there's also this other scene also with Soifang and Ichigo, and he's like, I don't recognize you unless Yoriichi is with you. I'm like, stupid bitch. But anyway, he goes in there and he meets up with Yamamoto and all the captains, except the only captain not there is Ukitake. And there was another scene prior to that where you have Ukitake, and he's like, his subordinates are telling him, Captain, Ichigo Kurasaki's fine, he's coming here, so on and so forth. And he says, I'm so glad. But Ukitake doesn't show up in the meeting. That's what happens. He does not show up. So he's looking at Yamamoto and he says, I came here because I would like to request. Renji took Ginjel's body with him to the Soul Society. I want to request that I bring his body back to the world of living to have it buried. And everyone's got a shocked face on their face, like Ohana and Kumamura. And then we see another Vizard, Hirako Shinji. And he's saying, are you sure he's telling Ichigo, are you sure you want to do that? He attacked your friends and family and all this other jazz. And he says, I still want to do it. He's basically saying, he says that he's a substitute Shinigami and I want to bury him properly. And then we move, and after that happens, we move from there to Ruka, and she's on top of the building, and she's basically saying, thank you, Chad, for trusting us. Thank you, Orihime, for crying for me, and Ichigo. We will always remember you, or you'll always remember us. And that's how it pretty much went. Okay. I've taken a look at this YouTube I've been looking around in the anime YouTube community. A lot of negatives. I've been seeing a lot of negatives for this chapter. Now, this is what I have to say. Okay? And am I going to say, if people come to my channel and they take a look at what is on my channel, what background I have, they're thinking, uh-oh. Am I going to lie to everyone and say, I love Bleach 100%, I hate everything else? No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Am I favoring Fairy Tail more than Bleach? It's a possibility. Here's what I have to say, though. Regardless what anyone has to say, you have to agree with this. One of the reasons why Kubo is there's so much anger towards him is because of what he does to his characters. And what am I referring to? The arc. I think that arc, if you go back to that arc, that is where the hostilities began. That is where the hostilities began. Because Kubo came out with these awesome characters. Villains, of course the villains are going to be thrown away. But you really think about it. He threw away Nell. He threw away Nell. He threw away all the Vizards. I'm not talking about me, not the Vizards. All the Espadas, all those characters. So, in this chapter, and King of Lightning, it is true. They could have done something where, he saw, because he never had Bankai. And you gotta figure how long it would have taken him to achieve that status. If anything, they could have done was, make Igaku a lieutenant. But that didn't happen. So, as far as I'm concerned, seeing Hirako and Kensei, that's a plus. I'm sorry, but that's a pro. That is a bona fide pro. Now, phone. I just want to mention you once and just state the record. I'm going to start watching One Piece, man. Just to let you know. I'm going to catch up on it. So just let you know on that. Plus, your comment on, yeah, okay. Is he going to use them? Well, I think he is. Regardless of what you have to say, I believe this time around he will use them. They will be having significant fights. Because here's the thing. I think I know why they are involved here. They're going to have a connection with Ishin. That's what I think. They're going to have a connection with Ishin, and it's going to be brought up. But that is a pro. Cons. The only con I would say, maybe Ginjo himself. And I'm going to discuss even more on this when I do my evaluation, which is going to be about the same as it was in the last one, but different in a way. The con would probably be, in this chapter, how they handled the whole Fullbring arc in this chapter. It seems very stale in a way. But pro is the Vizards. They're there. He didn't throw them out. I want to see more of that. If Kubo can deliver, if he can finally stop the bullshit, stop the bullshit and bring them back together, and then have some kind of, have them significantly do something significantly in the story, I'm all for it. That's a pro. However, what isn't a pro, and what is a major con, and I agree, is how Kubo treated this Fullbring arc. And I think this arc was just, he figured it, he fought it up, he figured, let's put this in, and that's what he did. So this week's chapter, 479, 3.5 out of 5. That's all I'm giving it. 3.5. It was okay. The only high point of this chapter, in my opinion, was probably the Vizards and Ichigo doing what he said. So that was pretty much it. Now, where do we go from here? Well, we're gonna wait 3 weeks for this shit. But like I said before, in that 3 weeks' time, I'm going to try my hardest to watch. My starting point is 195. Episode 195 of One Piece. Watch it from there all the way to the end. God help me if I pull this off. But 3 weeks is almost a month, so I think I might be able to pull it off. Think it might work. We'll see. But anyway, that's the story. So 3.5 out of 5. It was okay. But now, 3 weeks. There is no excuses. No excuses. There's absolutely no excuses for Kubo. There's no reason why he shouldn't come out and say, this is what it is. So next month, I want to hear Ishin's name. I want to hear the Vizards. And furthermore, I want to see what Ishin's story is. Most important. If he can pull that off, Kubo, and then this connects somehow to the Royal Guard, kudos to you. Kudos. But he has to get it done. If he doesn't, forget about it. You know what's going to happen? Revolt. People are going to drop this show. He has got to get it together. So that's all I have to say about that. Okay. It's been Bonkai 922. 3 weeks. No time. I will be watching One Piece. Well, what's going to come after me now? Say, you're something like that. I don't know. But anyway, see you guys later.